gió sóng rạch gầm chôn xác quân ngoại xâm. Tiếng vó vừa rền vang bờ cõi.
Good afternoon, welcome to this month's episode of Local Lens, a show that gives you a local perspective. This month we are with Chau in Vietnam. Welcome to the show, Chau. We were very fortunate to live with Chau and her family in Vietnam, and she's had a lot of perspective to share with us today. So, Chau, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Firstly, introduce yourself, give us your full name.
Yeah. My name is Nguyen Thi Bao Chau. Normally in the West, your last name first name last. But it's the other way around in Vietnam, so I'm called Chau.
Oh, wow, that's so interesting. So, Chau, what do you do? How old are you?
I'm 36, yes.
And you look half my age. Thank you very much for that.
No, thank you. No. It's a trouble when I go out drinking. Where's your ID? No, not good.
A lot of people would love to age at a very slow rate, so just be thankful. So where do you live? I mean, tell us a bit about your family.
I live in Saigon. I was born here. Actually, my family lived in this house for 35 years. When I was 1 year old, I bought the house. My mother and my father, I have 3 sisters and 1 brother, so 5 children. My parents are retired, and my sisters and brother, they all have work, so we work a lot, we work hard, and we also have this Airbnb as well on the sideway. So
quite business-minded there.
No, we have to work hard. In Vietnam, you can't afford not to work. So
yeah, so that's the norm. Everybody generally does some sort of work in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just give us a bit of your educational background.
I graduated from I have a bachelor degree in English literature and linguistics here in Vietnam, and then I took a master course in London, LSE, in NGO management. But at the moment I established and run a kindergarten, so it's not connected. But all my working life I've been working with education for children and development projects for children with disadvantaged background. And at the moment the children I work with, just young children from 6 months old to 5 years old, 6 years old.
At your kindergarten?
In the kindergarten,
okay.
From more sort of like middle class.
How long have you had the kindergarten for?
This is the 4th year. We are in the 4th school year, so.
And growing very fast.
We are expanding more space at the moment, so things are very busy. No Christmas for me.
That was a very interesting thing as well. When we had a chat the other day, you mentioned how Christmas in Vietnam, it's celebrated, but it's still a normal day. Am I correct?
Yeah, business as usual.
Yeah.
There's no day off or bank holiday, Christmas Day. We have New Year Day as a public holiday, but that's about it.
Are there a lot of public holidays, generally? How many do you have in a year?
I can't have an exact date,
yes.
But probably between 8 to 10 days.
Okay. And Christmas is not one of them.
No. But we have Vietnamese New Year, which officially you are allowed to have 4 days off.
4 consecutive days.
Yes.
Yeah.
But normally people take like 1 week or 2 weeks. It's like your Christmas.
Okay.
Nothing will move 2 weeks before, nothing will move 2 weeks after, normally.
And the next Vietnamese New Year is in February, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's lunar New Year.
So it goes according to the lunar calendar.
Yeah.
Wow, very interesting. I think it's the first time actually that we are in a country. Well, it's the first time that we're experiencing Christmas outside our own country.
Really?
It's the first time. It's the first time. So very interesting to just observe. And we went out on Christmas Eve and Like you said, again, very interesting that Vietnamese tend to celebrate more than Christmas Eve. They go out and go to church, and obviously the Christians, and then Christmas Day was much more quiet.
Yeah.
Why do you think? Or is it because of the French
No.
influence or anything? Or it's just one of those things.
No. Traditionally, we don't have Christmas.
Okay.
Christmas is more come from a Christian country or Western country.
Okay.
And then if we are introduced to Christmas by influenced by the West, obviously, and also mainly from Catholics,
Right.
Christians community in Vietnam, where they would celebrate Christmas Eve, very young, party in Christmas Eve. And recently it's become more a festive night for the young people.
Yeah.
But the true meaning of Christmas is no longer here.
Okay.
Only for Catholic people we
Yes.
kind of consider
Yes.
it's a special day. But I remember when I growing up, I still have exams on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. And being a Catholic, I go to church in the evening before. I'm really excited and on the church activity during the night. But it's quite daunting having to face the exam the next morning. So and then I get used to that.
Yeah.
So, but in the countryside, people might not.
Yeah.
Might
No.
not.
Okay, so it's probably more of a city thing.
Yes, and Christian and
Yeah.
Catholics.
Yeah. What's the religious split roughly throughout the country? Well, in terms of percentage as well. So.
I lost touch, I have to say, of this.
But majority.
The majority are more like ancient.
Yeah.
Father, grandfather, kind of worshipping. You're worshipping your
So like ancestral.
your ancestor,
Okay.
and then Buddhist.
Yeah.
And Catholics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also a majority not having any religions as well, officially.
Yeah.
But the people here are really spiritual in some way.
So more spiritual than religious.
Yes, I think so. It's more like that.
Wow, quite interesting. Considering in South Africa we've got a large population of Christians, we've got Muslims, we've got Hindus as well.
We do have some Muslim here,
Yeah.
very minority, not a lot.
Yeah.
And visibly you don't see
Okay.
much
Okay.
Muslim people here.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Very interesting. Tell us about the Vietnamese people. How would you describe them?
It will take 2-3 months to describe them. I couldn't decide myself yet what the Vietnamese people are like. I don't know. It would be unfair
Yeah.
because it's
Well, it is your perspective, and I think we're cognizant of the fact that you're not representing the 91 million population of Vietnam.
exactly.
But especially, I mean, you've lived in another country, right?
Yes.
You lived in the UK for a number of years.
Yeah.
So when you lived in the UK, I'm sure it became very clear what the differences were between the Vietnamese and, the UK citizens. So taking it from that perspective, how would you describe then the Vietnamese?
It's really weird. It also depends on how I would feel at the time as well. So my feeling for Vietnamese people or my perspective can change a little bit accordingly. So this is just like the moment I feel. In general, I think Vietnamese people are quite warm.
Yeah.
I have been to China, to Korea, to Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, live in the UK as well, and Hong Kong, various places. And the more I go out, the more I'm aware of how we are different from other people as well. Vietnamese people are quite blunt in a way. When I first see foreigners, I say, be careful, we are very blunt. We can ask you, how much you earn for 1 month? And how heavy are you? Or are you married? Are you having children? Very kind of personal question. but you don't need to answer. You can
Yeah.
be vague in answer back as well. You can be like, oh, I have enough to live. My
Okay.
income, or I'm still single, or I'm married, or so people are not looking for an exact answer when they ask you in a way.
Yeah.
Or they ask, where are you going? I'm going there, I'm going here.
There's no direct, doesn't have to be a specific answer.
No, exactly. And we are that way of blunt. In general, I think we are hard-working people.
Yeah.
However, in terms of effectiveness, in like work effective, perhaps we are not that effective like in the West.
Okay.
But we work hard.
Yeah.
We smile more, we more open and more warm to foreigner, for example. But this is something I haven't decided yet. Whether we reacted to foreigner or are we going to do the same with us? More of the case of the first case where
Yeah.
we are more welcoming to tourism, people like that. Or stranger come to the village. If I come to a village and I say hello to people there, they also greetings me back. Whereas in some of the country I've been to, it could be like the people that give it for themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
We also are quite aggressive,
In what sense?
pushy.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
If you go on the road,
Yeah.
you will understand what I see.
Yeah.
Just people honking, and people and shoving and crazy traffic. It's just I'm really mad.
But strange enough though, even in that, you're not confrontational.
No, but
So yeah, so
but
so
it's
it's
really
like,
kind of
yeah,
pushy.
yeah, very pushy.
Really.
But you're not going to
No,
see a lot of
very true.
fights either. You know, you're not
No,
going to see
no.
people don't pull zap signs. I mean, we don't have as much. We've got traffic, but we don't have as much traffic as on the
Crazy.
roads. So
Yeah, it's and we are generally quite peaceful people.
yeah,
If you look at so many war conflicts happen around the world, and I think after the French War, the Chinese, the Japanese, Second World War, the American Vietnam War, I think we in general we only fight if we are dominated or we are
okay. When you're pushed,
yeah, but generally
you're not going to leave Vietnam
yeah.
to go and fight.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
To what I understand, some people might have different perspective
Yeah, yeah.
in terms of Cambodia, I think, but we generally don't fight and so much, and we don't have religions conflicts
Yeah.
fighting in terms of like in Vietnam. So I think we're quite peaceful people. We're not extremists.
Yeah.
We're not extremists. We aggressive. We hard. But we're not extremists. I touch wood.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And,
That's obviously something that you like about Vietnamese. Yeah.
yeah, the family is still very close.
Yes.
It's close.
Supportive of each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still taking care of the parents,
Yeah.
quite an important part of your culture, right?
Yeah, and at the moment, I feel that we are going through a transition time with after the Vietnam War, and then there is a time that where we have closed door policy, where we don't trade with various of countries. Like we only trade with communism
Mhm.
country bloc, and once we open the country with new policy, a lot economically speaking, it's changed a lot.
Okay.
Changed the whole country, and in the last 10, 15 years, it changed really fast.
Okay.
Most of the high-rise, nearly all the high-rise buildings in Saigon now are built within 10 or 15 years.
Wow.
So life that quick, it can affect the young people as well, and the way they live, and so and for me, at the moment, sometimes I feel frustrated. Sometimes I feel I really love my city, but sometimes I also have a hate relationship with it because of of all the places around me has been changing, and then all the things I hold dear to my heart, like the old buildings and things like that, being knocked down and high-rise building going up. But on the other hand, the life of the people are better. People have better things in life, for some better education. We can afford sending the children to study English, or can afford to build a house with a tile floor. So in general, in life, living standard is improving.
Okay.
But other thing, I think the young people still figure out, and I hope the periods will pass. I hope, I am an optimist person, so I hope it's going to be better for the country.
Yeah, absolutely. And realize how much food there is to offer. So perhaps then let's talk about the food, what you would find in the south and the north from food perspective.
I think Vietnamese people are one of those love foods in the world.
Yeah.
I've been quite a number of countries, and I am not biased or anything, because at some point I was worried that I'm biased because, but I also try a lot of different food. I love food in different countries, and I keep thinking, no, we're not bad as a country in terms of food diversities, and we have food in the Mekong, in the Central Highlands, in the Central, and in the North, the Highlands of the North. So we love food, and we have the same ingredient, but we can create so many different
flavors, absolutely,
dishes and flavor, and quite distinctively, regionally. You can feel the difference, and how when you kind of move down or move out of the country.
So what's a popular food for the Mekong? So if you go to the Mekong, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want to eat?
What their signature is?
Yes.
I would say Vietnamese pancake from there.
Which is a savory pancake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they also have in Saigon we have cơm tấm, which is broken rice, barbecue pork. We have bánh mì, which is now made kind of slowly, and in the last few years has been made news around the world. Yes, that's true. Bánh mì, you never find the same bánh mì in every store. So every corner have a store, and they.
What is it made from?
Baguette, which is an influence from the French, but and then we have pickles in there, pate, mayonnaise, like egg yolk with oil. It's not like normal mayonnaise, and some meat in that, pork, depends.
Yeah.
You can put anything in there.
Yeah.
Cucumber, chilies, and the sauce.
And it's delicious. I don't know. We
we
lived on that for a number of days.
Oh, okay. How can you do? Yeah, I do miss bánh mì when I go abroad.
Yeah.
I'm living abroad, so nowhere have the same. I also like pho. Pho is come from the north, and it's a beef noodle. It's quite complicated with how to cook it as well. And the best way is to go to the shop again. There are so many pho around, no pho like each other. Each person has their own way of seasoning, taste different.
And it's quite a process to make it, right? It's soup, but it takes a while.
If they serve you in the morning, they have to cook it in like the night before for the soup to have like that flavor.
Yeah.
And then a lot of various kind of noodles. In the central, you would have Huế dish, typically also noodle bún bò Huế. Rice with many things. We also very good at salad. We eat a lot of vegetable. Not necessarily like if you are a vegetarian, it would be very difficult to eat in our country because we put a little bit of meat everywhere, everything.
And you don't eat your meat in
No,
chunks?
no.
Because,
Very little. In compare with like the West.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And the West also, we tend to split out our food. So you have your rice on the one side, you have your vegetable on the one side, and a big piece of meat. Whereas I think with you guys, there tends to be everything sort of in one bowl.
Well, usually we don't have like portion like in the West.
Yes.
What we do, we serve together.
Yes.
So we have a bowl of soup, a bowl of meat dish or fish dish, and then vegetable, whatever, and then rice. So we have, each person have a bowl of rice, and then we just share the savory dish.
Yeah.
And we eat together by that way. So it doesn't matter if you have unexpected guests coming over and join us.
You just give them a bowl of rice.
Exactly, and then they can share
from the table.
Yeah. It's good to turn out when people have a meal in the West, because it's difficult for them to have, because everything, most of the things are portioned.
Yes.
You have like, you chop like one steak, two steak, and you can't share like that.
Yeah.
Whereas we kind of slide the meat,
make it very
smaller pieces, and then so it's easier to.
You also can see how much someone is eating. Because it's so small, you know, they keep taking, so you can't really keep tabs on how, you know, whereas in the West, if someone takes 4 pieces of chops, then it's
we are blessed. Also, we are blessed with fruits as well.
Yes.
And, so our pudding is fruits normally.
So it's very common that, first of all your meals have vegetables and herbs, am I right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Generally. Which is also quite different from the West, because breakfast, I've come to realize, means different things in different parts of the world. So where we come from, breakfast is cereal and milk, bread, you know, eggs. Whereas for you, breakfast...
It's more savory dish, and you have a bowl of noodle. We don't use a lot of milk or dairy so much. So very interesting stuff. So tell me about your trips outside of Vietnam. What did that do for you? So, I mean, you're obviously passionate about traveling, but what did traveling make you realize about yourself, about where you come from? And, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed me gradually. The more you go, the more you reflect about yourself and where you come from, and you will be less prejudiced about people who you hear. For example, before I go to China, I was like, I don't like Chinese people, I hate Chinese people, etc., etc. But when I travel, they changed my attitude. And as you know, we have a long history with China. We have like many years, like 1,000 years, dominated by Chinese people, and in the ancient time. And we also have, but we also influenced a lot by them as well. We share many things.
Chopsticks.
Chopsticks, and Lunar New Year, everything. A lot of things we share, but not necessarily we love each other. It's like French and English people. So it changed my mind, it totally changed my mind when I was there. And I realized that really people are the same everywhere. There are good people, there are bad people. The thing that you don't see, you don't know. But it also tells me that it's so powerful what you hear, or you've been educated, you've been told, about other people, and if you decided to think that it's the truth, and you're not having the opportunity to verify yourself, you believe that.
So traveling gives you the opportunity to have a first-hand experience.
And open my mind, and I become more humble.
More understanding.
And I loved it. I become more. It's really enrich your life. It's intangible. It's not what you get, but it makes you such a fuller person.
Yeah.
And I think not many people have that privilege
Yeah.
of traveling because not many people can afford it.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky.
Yeah. What is your philosophy in life? What drives you?
There is no philosophy. I don't have any philosophy in life. I'm lucky to have a lot of people who surrounding me. They are very supportive. But as I grow older, I also realize that perhaps I've been through a lot in life, and perhaps that make me go through, in terms of reflection, make me go through hardships and how, when it's difficulties in life, that is the optimism. What do you say it in English?
Optimism.
Optimism.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm quite, as a person, I'm quite optimistic.
Okay.
Also, I'm quite hardworking.
Yeah.
So, and I love learning. I strive for learning, and I think now I learned and I become, in the last, when I grown up, I learned and I become more open and open. And try not to, difficult, but try not to judge people.
Yeah.
So,
it's a very difficult thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also people make it hard sometimes not to be judged. But yeah, you've got to strive for that. I agree with you.
So it's a combination of everything, and I'm lucky that I have a wonderful mother who influenced a lot. And my father too. My parents are one of. I used to take them for granted until I go away, and then I realized that I take them for granted, and now I appreciate more of my parents.
And fortunately, they're still here to see you appreciate them. So,
no, you have to ask them about that. I'm quite a bully with my mother, actually.
Yeah.
But no, she's good. She's cool.
Supportive.
I didn't realize how much I was like her.
The worst thing to realize.
The older I become like, she like cooking. I like cooking too. She cares. She take care for her family, and I do that with my boyfriend, and I'm like, become my mother.
I know, and you vowed you would never become like her. I know I did. I vowed I would never become like my mother, but every day is just such a different experience. So interesting. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to do this interview. Very insightful, and I think it's official. We can tell everyone that the war is over. It ended in 1975.
What war? Now, I mean, Vietnam is now a peaceful country.
Exactly.
There's no more fighting since then.
And it hasn't been in a long time.
I'll tell you what, the majority of Vietnamese people, at least 65% of them, of us, born after the war.
Yeah.
So, the war was ending like 40 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
It's
it
going
40?
to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be 40 next year.
This coming year,
Yeah.
So 40 years ago. So more than 60%, 65% or 70% of the people are born after the war. So it's not, for us, it's not so much relevant because we don't experience or we don't live through it.
Yeah.
My parents did, but they no longer talk about the war. They never talk about the war with us so much. No.
What did people ask you whenever you go to another country and you tell them you're from Vietnam?
Different country got different reactions.
Yeah.
If I go to China, because of recent dispute in the sea between China and Vietnam, and they all know, like fighting like the gun, water gun between the boats. But before that, they didn't know so much. So not many people in China know about Vietnam. in my experience when they ask me. Also, when I go to Korea last time, they know Vietnam because of Vietnam War, but they don't have any kind of, you come Vietnam, so they kind of know about that. Or to Cambodia, Laos, people kind of starting, they treat us normally. Touch wood, I've been treated well when I go out as a Vietnamese.
Yeah.
In England, the same.
Okay.
I don't feel discriminated. I don't feel threatened. Or
Okay.
people welcome us. For me.
Yeah.
I don't know what other people welcome.
Yeah. But you've
In
had
my
a
own
genuinely great
experience.
experience, you haven't?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Even to Sri Lanka or Nepal, where they probably not know Vietnam so much.
Yeah.
Most of the people know Vietnam War, but not recently, like how Vietnam like the food and everything. So.
fantastic. Alrighty, that brings us to the end of our show. Once again, thank you so much for your time and enlightening us about Vietnam, about yourself. I mean, you've literally let us peek into your world and see the world from your eyes. So it's such a privilege to have spent time with you and your family over the last couple of weeks. So thank you for that as well.
No, thank you for staying with us. It's a joy.
And we look forward to hosting you in South Africa soon, hopefully.
One day. I'm not promised because otherwise I broke promises. But if it's allowed, if the opportunity comes, I love to because I've never been to Africa.
Yeah.
And really thanks to you too that I learned so much. For me, Africa is one mysterious, not country, so did I say country, like continental, with normally people related, or me related to hunger, to conflicts, to Ebola. I did worry, so when they allow you to enter the country when you book, when you book, say the Vietnam border, they start screening people and say, wonder if you ever come. Also like safari. So that's all about my kind of limited idea of South Africa or Africa in general. And I think I must come after I talk to you. I discover so many things that really prove that how ignorant I am. And really, it's really, I learned a lot from you. Thank you for teaching me.
I guess we both benefited. We got to learn about Vietnam. You got to know a little bit about Africa and South Africa. So
we realized
it's important. Absolutely. I mean, even coming here, I had no idea. My knowledge was probably as limited as yours about Africa. My knowledge about Vietnam was quite narrow as well. I mean, the only thing we ever hear about is the war, which is I think why also some people think it's still on. So I think it's important, I suppose, to travel and to experience and to meet different people because then you learn a little bit more about a place. And again, you realize that we're all the same. Everybody at the end of the day wants to be loved. Everybody's ambitious. Everybody wants health and prosperity. So
and then I know that your family very close together.
Yeah.
It's kind of some mutual thing.
Absolutely.
Family is also very close too. And the food, we love food.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I mean, it's either the problems or not problem, or the merits, or the good things of a country or bad things of a country. I think it's quite the same everywhere you go in the world.
Yes.
People face certain difficulty, people face certain things that they don't like to face in life. And people also enjoy the same thing really. I think it's
Interesting. Yeah, I agree. Well, on that note, let's wrap it up. Thank you very much and see you next time.
4.000 năm